Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to beautiful York, Nebraska. More specifically, my room. But home of the Dukes, York is. And more specifically, again, we'll go home to the long-term resident, David Ginwright. David Ginwright is just entering his senior season, putting the final touches on this chapter and beginning to plan for the next. David's learned in this chapter that life can be tough, and also he's learned that a sport that he made fun of in middle school would be one that he'd play for 4 years in high school and letter in 2 of them. He'll tell you more about that. So let's just go ahead and bring the young man in over the telephone. David, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you, David, for having me today. It's truly a pleasure. Let me just start off by introducing myself. Obviously, I'm David Ginwright. I'm 17 years old, so I'm a little young for this senior class. I haven't always lived in York. I moved here with my dad when I was 6. Then after a short 2 weeks, my mom followed us. The transition from Kansas to York, it was actually really tough on me. The main reason for this was because my oldest brother, Brandon, actually moved back to Kansas only a semester after we moved here, and then my middle brother, Bradley, kind of became very troubled and was in and out of our home all the time. But once we kind of settled in and got used to all that, everything kind of smoothed out for me.
All right, David, talk to us a little bit more about the brothers. With them being gone for so long, not really many people know about them, do they?
Without a doubt. Let me just first start off by saying I love both my brothers dearly. Like they mean the world to me. Brandon, my oldest brother, simply left because he wasn't a big fan of my dad. Decided that Kansas was his best bet. Bradley, on the other hand, he's extremely talented, intelligent kid. He just uses all of that knowledge and his talents for all the wrong reasons. He's always had a problem with stealing, unfortunately, and it got him into some deep trouble. Eventually, he found the wrong crowd, and you mix stealing with the wrong crowd. That equation equaled drugs, and that's been added to the mix. He's been in and out of jail a few times, so that's Brad. That's kind of the situation.
All right, David, talk to us a little bit more about your high school career. Let's be specific and go to the athletics side of things real quick.
My high school athletics? I heard you talk about the sport that I used to make fun of, so we'll start there, I guess. So the week before my freshman year started, I received a phone call from Coach Malik, the head tennis coach of the high school. He wanted to know if I was going to be at tennis practice the next day. I told him, I don't have a racket, I don't have a physical done, I don't know how you expect me to be there. He told me, he goes, well, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. About 10 minutes later go by, and he calls and he said, you have a physical at 11:15 tomorrow, and practice starts at 3:30. I have a racket, and I expect to see you there. Honestly, after being so surprised like that, starting tennis, I don't think I'll ever be able to thank him enough. Tennis has taught me so many different things, and the friends I made during tennis is reason enough for me to love the sport. Other athletics I've done golf the last 3 years thanks to Coach Malik as well. Bowling's also been a huge part of my life and high school career, and this one's not really school affiliated, but baseball is kind of my life. I eat, sleep, drink baseball all year round as much as I can.
How about your school life, David? Tell us a little bit about that.
My school life. Besides all the sports, I strive to be great academically. I'm not going to lie, I don't always succeed, mainly because I'm such a great procrastinator. But I really take my academics very seriously because I know for a fact now that I'm not going to go anywhere for athletics. I've come to that reality.
How about socially, David?
Socially, I don't have a lot of friends. I like to keep my circle kind of extremely small. I know a whole hell of a lot of people, don't get me wrong, but if you ask me how many real friends I'd have and how many people I would say that I socialize with, I'd have to tell you that number is probably less than 5.
All right, David, before we let you go, tell us who you admire in your family and who you look up to as a person.
This is, without a doubt, my favorite question to answer no matter who's interviewing, situation, whatever. So let's go ahead and I'll start off my wonderful mom. She's done everything for me, everything in her mental, emotional, and physical power. She's given it all to me. But at the same time, she's kind of taught me how to be a young man. And that's why I want to make it big someday just so I can return the favor and give her everything in return. And after that, it's going to have to be her mom, my grandma. She passed away when I was 11, but the impact she made on me is one that I'll hold forever. She was sick my entire life, But she always, and I mean always, found a way to put a smile on her face and make everyone else smile. And there wasn't a soul on the earth that she wouldn't put before hers, because she cared so much about everyone, and I strive every day to be more and more like that. After her, my Uncle Jay is one of the strongest, most family-oriented human beings alive. Physically, he's strong, don't get me wrong, he's a big dude. But mentally and emotionally is what amazes me the most. He loves his wife and kids and his whole family like none other. And finally, my best friend in the entire world, Jake Holtz, my little Girl Scout, actually. Jake was the one that housed me the day that my grandma passed away. He introduced me to the game of baseball, something that I never thought would change my life the way it has. And he's never left my side. So I love these people more than about life itself, and I would give anything and everything in this world to get to see my grandma one more time.
Any celebrity influences in your life, David?
Celebrity influences, there's only really two that stick out to me. One goes by the name of Robert Bryson Hall II, more popularly known by his stage name Logic. The other one is one that everyone in the sports world knows, Jimmy Valvano. I like my mentality to follow a quote from each of them. The first quote being from Logic, what's a lot in life with more to gain? And the second is from Jimmy V in his famous speech kind of towards the end when he said, "To me, there are three things we should all do every day. We should do this every day of our lives. Number one is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number two is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number three is you should have your emotions be moved to tears. Could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you cry, and you think, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day. And if you do that 7 days a week, you're going to have something special."
Thanks for joining us, David. It's been a pleasure having you, and have a great rest of your year, buddy.